Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Claw and the King podcast. I'm joined by... Did you just peace sign?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Welcome to the podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, Dopey. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing very well, obviously, filming this in the midst of one of the great blowouts all time.
I've never seen anything like it. But yeah, we'll move on to that during our chats. Obviously, there's been a bit of a mixed bag, if you're me.
Not much mixing, though.
Yeah, maybe less of the sweet kind, more of the sour kind in that bag. But, you know, you take the good with the bad.
It's a sour bag right now.
Usually this time of year is my sour bag. Usually that's how it goes. This time of year is probably my depression era. This is my depression month. What month is it? Oh, yeah.
April.
April's my depression month. May, I'm usually good because my birthday, you know, I'm chilling.
I hate my birthday now.
Why?
Because I hate getting older at this point.
Yeah, I do as well. This sucks. Anyway, we're not here to talk about birthdays. We're here to talk about the NBA to start off with. Kind of surprising, some results. Some injuries, not so much. But we'll move on to which game would you like to start with first?
We'll go through like
each
series, break it down, what we've seen so far. Some series have already ended. But and what we think for each team going forward. We'll start with the West. So obviously the 1v8 is Minnesota-Denver. I mean, Denver are up 3-0 at this point. It's pretty much a write-off.
Yeah.
You know, everyone with eyeballs could predict that Minnesota weren't going to do anything. I mean, just watching, like, I've watched a few of the games, not like the whole games.
They're always on ESPN. Those games always get on there somehow.
ESPN, so I'm watching a few quarters of it, and I'm like, every time Kat and Gobert are in the pick and roll, it's just a free alley-oop or a free wide-open three. It's like so bad. Zero defense at all. So, yeah, Denver have been able to expose that. Jamal Murray's been great. He's always great in the playoffs. But, yeah, I don't know if this is an accurate representation of where Denver are really at and if they can challenge because Minnesota are just so shit. But they look good.
Yeah, they look good. Again, because of how shit Minnesota are, it's a tough sort of gauge if this is more of a first seed beating down a shit 8 seed or if it's, you know, maybe a show of how good their quality is throughout the playoffs. Maybe they can make the finals. Yeah, it's just Minnesota have been awful. They're the only game on, it seems, on ESPN recently, and just watching them is so horrendous. It's so bad to watch the Timberwolves play. They're always behind. It's always some lucky ant step back mid ranger that is the only reason they score points, or some Torian Prince, you know, corner three. Kat hasn't done anything offensively or defensively. I don't know why you get Gobert and keep Kat.
He's guarding Aaron Gordon. What like?
But I mean, why do you? If you get Gobert, fine, but trade Kat. If that's your diagnosis, you need a certified rim protector for the playoffs because of what happened last year, how they got beat up in the paint last year. Then fucking trade Kat and get Rudy Gobert in. Fine. But you can't keep both of them at the same time. It's ludicrous to have two 7-footers who can't move on the court at the same time in the modern NBA. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't even make sense in the 90s. I mean, they'd probably still get fucking taken advantage of in the 90s, never mind now. So yeah, it was an absolutely abhorrent trade. Anyone with a brain thought so, but the media seemed to not think so. But I mean, we've drilled in enough about how bad Rudy Gobert is, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Timberwolves do from here because they lost all their picks in the trade. So
yeah, I don't know. There's not really much they can do. Maybe they could get Pat Bev back. In the offseason. Apparently, he's looking for $15 million a year. So,
well, yeah, I mean, his logic is a bit flawed, but you know,
I saw like all the memes about like Pat Bev saying he wants $15 million a year, and the phone rings. It's just Shanghai Sharks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's maybe a legitimate option for him, but no, he'll still get NBA offers, probably at minimum from half decent teams. But yeah, on the Denver side, they look good. I'm really impressed with Brown and Jeff Green has had significant minutes as well. So I think I like their rotation. I like their bench unit. So we'll see. We'll see if they sort of continue and progress throughout the rounds. It's going to be a lot tougher if they come up against the Lakers in the next round or the Grizzlies, but we'll see.
No, they get the Suns.
Oh, fuck. I always forget. I always confuse it. It'd be a lot tougher against the Suns, I'll tell you that for nothing. But yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of engagement. There's not a lot of hype in that series, I don't think. Timberwolves,
Denver?
No. I mean, yeah, Timberwolves, Denver. there's not a lot of hype in it pre
really
the playoffs. So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on. 2v7, obviously Lakers Grizz, the main event of the first round. I mean, as we stand currently, it's 1-1. So,
but yeah, the Grizzlies have scored 9 points in a quarter. So you never know in those type of situations. So yeah, look, the Lakers Grizz, I think it's a toss up. I think it goes 7. But yeah, we'll see. And look, the Lakers have looked decent in one game, terrible in the other. I mean, they lost to the Grizzlies without Ja Morant, which seems like a common occurrence for the Grizzlies. They seem to win without him.
And Tyus Jones is better than Ja Morant.
Well, you could argue he's a more efficient basketball player. He's a better all-round basketball player in terms of impacting winning. But yeah, it's been an interesting series so far. Not many games, obviously, so it's hard to judge them. And obviously, I've been a bit of a complaint. I've had a couple of complaints about the scheduling of the NBA. Seems that the Clippers have fucking played 7 games already. The Grizzlies and Lakers are on the 3rd game, so it's a bit confusing in terms of why they get a lot of rest and we don't. But look, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, it's very hard to judge because of how early on it is. But Game 3 is happening right now. The Grizzlies could come back. It's only the first quarter, but it's not looking great for them at the moment.
No, I mean I'm pretty happy with where the Lakers are at. Obviously, as a Lakers fan,
Glorious Sporter.
I did think we would beat the Grizzlies. I'm not a Glorious Sporter. I did think we would beat the Grizzlies going into the series. Obviously, stealing one at home gives us home court is good enough. I mean, losing without Ja was a little bit concerning because that was the opportunity to really just put the nail in the bed and put the series to the sword. I mean, I guess Dylan Brooks has been the main talking point of the series so far, and how shit he is at basketball, but how good he is at, or how much.
You can't be good when you're bad. You can't be a good trash talker if you're bad.
Yeah, but he loves doing it, and it's, he's up there.
They're just a cocky team. I want the Lakers to win. That's how much the Grizzlies piss me off.
Is he more hated than Grayson Allen now?
Grayson Allen isn't. I don't think he's that hated.
He's pretty hated.
He's hated within like the college community. If you watch college basketball, then you hate Grayson Allen, unless you're a Duke fan. But I don't think he's hated that much in the NBA. I think fucking Dylan Brooks is the most hated player in the. I mean, Ja Morant's a close second. I think you could probably put 3 of the most hated top.
Even Jaren Jackson, he's annoying.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson because he inflates his stats. But yeah, I mean, what's the score now?
17-46.
Getting in there, Grizzlies.
They've scored 8 points in the second quarter so far.
How long has there been?
6 minutes.
So you're on track for 16 in the well, that's good. Well, how many points have you scored in the second quarter?
11. Okay,
so yeah, it looks like the Lakers are winning this game, so not a great sort of contest there. But yeah, I think it's in terms of the series, we won't go too hard on the Grizzlies until they lose.
But it would be a monumental.
But they will lose at some point
in 5, most likely.
So yeah, we'll see. But
this would. I mean, this is a bad look for them to make the 2nd seed, be a high seed 2 years in a row.
We're good in the West, bro. They're good in the West.
They're good in the West. Yeah, they're good at losing in the first round in the West.
Yeah, they're very good at that. Yeah, they're probably the most overrated team. And I look, I had this conversation with Oscar beforehand about Ja Morant, and I think he's the most overrated player in the league. That's controversial.
I mean, a lot of people think Trae Young right now, even though he just played
well. No, but people understand Trae Young's faults. Like, in terms of overrated, I put it on a different sort of scale. I mean, you could say, I don't know, like Trae Young's overrated, but obviously everybody knows he has major faults in his game, so he's not that overrated by most. Maybe by certain media or certain glory fans that don't follow the NBA, but hardcore NBA fans love Ja Morant, and the media love Ja Morant. Everybody loves Ja Morant. I think he sucks. Well, I don't think he sucks, but I think he doesn't impact winning at all.
When I watch him, he's pretty good.
Yeah, but he doesn't impact winning at all. He doesn't. And his team loses look, this may be conflated by my personal opinions on how cocky he is, but still, you can't be that cocky and just lose in the playoffs. You've got to be able to win. Like if Giannis was
is he getting into that Giannis territory where he's got to win to be recognised?
Well, he's young, so he's not. He's not where Giannis.
If you're comparing him to Zion, I mean, Zion can't even.
No, but Giannis is 10 times the player Ja Morant is.
Yeah, at this point. Well, but Giannis in his 3rd or 4th season.
Well, I've always compared him to John Wall. I think he's a carbon copy of a young John Wall. What did John Wall win?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit better than John Wall, though.
No, I don't. Don't think
I mean, John Wall...
I think he is John Wall. That's what I think he is. I'm not saying he's a bad player whatsoever. He's an all-star level player, multiple-time all-star level player. But he's not fucking multiple-time MVP winner, in my opinion. I think he's John Wall. So...
we'll see how he goes. If he has some catastrophic career-ending injuries and then never looks the
John
same.
Wall's a fantastic... John Wall's probably one of the best players, in the NBA to watch. So is Ja Morant. Doesn't mean they impact winning that much, you know. So look, we'll see, but we'll go through a lot more teams and we'll see different players, different superstar players that impact winning in a great way. So
moving on, 3-6. I think this is probably the most intriguing series so far. Kings Warriors.
Yes.
Kings obviously, as we sit here today, are up 2-1 with home court. Golden State obviously won game 3. A lot has gone on in this series. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, he's arrived. He looks fucking incredible. Malik Monk had a really good first 2 games.
Didn't he play for the Lakers?
He did play for the Lakers.
That'd be good. That'd be handy to get him.
And now he's dropping 30 in the playoffs, so good on him. Obviously, the Draymond Green suspension's been a talking point.
Yeah.
The stomp.
What is your opinion on that? Do you have a...
I do not think he should have got suspended.
Really?
And I think most people think that.
It's not like it was a light stamp. No, he literally jumped on him.
But Sabonis instigated it by grabbing his leg.
Yeah, but look, he may have. But it's not a grab. It's not like a. It's like a sort of cradle.
All I know is when
it's not like a serious. It's not like Draymond's running and he's fucking taking out his legs and he's holding onto his legs. Draymond's just standing there. And Sabonis has fallen and sort of like cradled his legs. So Draymond would have to step over his legs to keep on running up the court. He went out of his way. Now, I think Sabonis should have got a flagrant as well for doing that. But the fact that Draymond literally went up, jumped on him, stamped on his ribs, and just fucking put him out like that, that's a game suspension. You can't tell me that's not a game suspension.
But the thing is, right, even though he didn't hold his leg completely tightly or whatever, that resistance does put you off balance when you're trying to run, and there's
I understand that. I'm saying Sabonis should have been some sort of
like. I think Draymond. It's hard to say what he was thinking.
It was a reaction, but that reaction is over the. It's like saying if someone. If Marcus Morris, okay, I don't know why I brought Marcus Morris, but if say we're playing on a basketball, we're playing against each other, I push you and you punch me in the face, both are at fault. But the punch in the face is a more extreme action and would be adjudicated a lot harsher than the push.
It is, but what about if you push me and as I'm falling backwards, I elbow Chris Paul in the face?
No. But it wasn't like he was off balance and he was like, oh, fuck, my leg has to go there. He literally, out of his way, turned around, stomped on his
No,
ribs.
He didn't turn around. It was as he was trying to stride out of it, he had some resistance from behind. And his foot just came down. No. I think he did put a little bit of force on the stomp, but I think
you cannot tell me that was not intentional. That was absolutely intentional.
I think he did put some force into it, which is intentional.
Oh my God, he clearly looked down and aimed at his ribs. But you could not tell me that was not intentional.
Look, I mean, it's the playoffs. I don't like seeing people get suspended, even though Draymond is a bit of a
Well, I mean, look, it's a help for the Warriors. I don't know why they're complaining.
Yeah, I guess
Draymond's suspended.
I guess they're better without him. But yeah, and then we'll talk about it later. But other series, there's been similar incidents. But do you think the Warriors can make a comeback? I mean, I see a lot of people still predicting them to win.
They're so bad away from home. It's impossible. They are,
but all they need is one.
And
game.
I hate to quote Nick Wright, and I hate to echo his comments, but they are atrocious away from home. There is no way you can win a playoff series being that bad away from home.
But they only need one game.
Yeah, but they could lose a home game. It's not like they're fucking like they're good from home, but they're not like fucking otherworldly. They are shocking away from home. Absolutely shocking. The Kings Arena is a great atmosphere to play in if you're a Kings player. So
only like the cheapest ticket for that, it was like $400.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. It's obviously a big sort of occasion for that fan base, and they obviously want to push the Kings as far as they can go. I just think the Kings could steal a game at the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors can take a game from the Kings, in my opinion. I think it could go 6 or 7, but I think the Kings got out on top.
That'll be a big upset. I mean, I
don't think so. It's not that big of an upset. Again, the stature of the Warriors players would tell you that. But if you look at the home and away this season.
Yeah, but like defending champs, I don't know. I just can't write the Warriors off that easily. I think they can steal a game.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
But it's a very entertaining series. I mean, I watched the fourth quarter of game one, and I was just seeing Steph hit these crazy shots, and then Fox would come back and answer. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, it's funny how De'Aaron Fox went from last year being like a player that was, you know, thought of as an overrated.
He had a decline last year. Like, that was probably his worst season.
People thought, you know, he was, you know, going the wrong direction. He was probably going to be...
Well, they were saying, why are you getting rid of Halliburton? He's the guy.
You need to keep Halliburton. And look, Halliburton's a great player as well. But, it's quite interesting how De'Aaron Fox sort of stepped up once Halliburton's gone, which is... Maybe it's got something to do with each other, but maybe not. So, yeah, moving on.
Moving on, last series in the West, the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns. Currently stands Suns up 3-1.
Yeah.
After today, it looks like it's probably... GG's in that one.
After Kawhi got his fucking sprained knee, it's been over. He's not playing the rest of the series, guaranteed. Paul George isn't either. Well, what do you want me to say? They are the most fucking pussies, the biggest pussies I've ever seen in my life. You play basketball for a living. Play the game. I don't care if you got a niggle in your fucking knee. Play the fucking game, you pussy. Like, you walked off the court fine. You played the whole game. And then all of a sudden the next day, I've got a sprained knee. Sorry. I was making cereal this morning. I slipped.
Yeah, I think that's the bit that people don't like, is that you don't see him get injured in the games. He's just like,
Well, I mean, last injury he got injured in the game, but
when he tore his ACL, but
even that, it was so long. It was like fucking 2 years when most players had been 9 months. You know, he would have been back by. He could have been in the playoffs last year if he was fucking healthy. If he was just a normal player. I think he's way too cautious with injuries. And yeah, it's super disappointing. I think it's just indicative on what kind of person, in terms of personality, he is, in terms of a competitive style. I don't think he wants it that bad. I think he just wants to be in LA. But the Clippers can't do anything. There's nothing that we can do, for the simple fact that Oklahoma City owns our draft picks, for like 3 of our draft picks up until 2027. I think we might have our pick this year or next year. I'm not too sure, but they own 3 of our next 4 picks or something like that. So there's no point in not in trading. I see that people saying trade Kawhi and PG, and it just doesn't make any sense. Blow it up. Why the fuck? What is the point of blowing it up? What are you gaining from that? You're gaining Oklahoma City getting better, and you getting nobody. But I mean, the bright spark for the Clippers this playoff run, you could say, is probably Russell Westbrook. He's been
prime Russell.
He's prime Russ. I mean, geez, he's been carrying us.
Do you re-sign him? Because he's probably going to want money now after that performance.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know if we have bird rights or not, though. It's a really, really tough one because obviously he's playing very well. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he's playing well for the first time in 2 years when he has no other star around him. I think that's obviously not a coincidence. And he has...
No, it's not.
And he's, he has all the power, essentially. He is the first option on that team right now. So I don't think it's a coincidence at all. So is he going to be the same level when Kawhi and PG? But also, those guys are fucking injured every 2 days. So
either one or both
could be valuable.
Isn't going to be there at the end of next year.
Well, I mean, look, I would resign him because he could be valuable. In terms of, because they're injury prone. You can't count on them to not be injured every game. So you're going to be like, well, what do we do? I mean, we can't just have fucking Norman Powell be our best player. We've got to have someone else. And Russ, without PG or Kawhi Leonard, could be a really good star to carry the load. So, and he's always available. So, yeah, I would probably resign Russ maybe for a year to match Kawhi's and PG's contract. But, yeah, I would keep him for the simple fact that you cannot rely on PG and Kawhi to stay healthy. Even no matter when it is, playoffs, regular season, they are both pussies. So, yeah, Suns, I don't think the Suns have been that good. Talk about the refs. The refs have been weak. This series should be 2-2 for the record. They had fucking 46 free throws in a game. Not this game, the last game, which was was absolutely ridiculous. They had the most bogus fucking calls ever. And the NBA's rigged. They just want the Suns to go through. That's my opinion on it. So the series could be 2-2 without Paul George the whole series and without Kawhi half the series. So, yeah. it's a bit disappointing that obviously that we have these injuries to these players, but it's not a surprise at all. Yeah, Devin Booker's been playing well recently, so
there's that. Well, I mean, the Clippers are. I don't know if you can call it unlucky or if it's something to do with the heavens, but
it's a mix. People are calling the Kawhi Leonard, the Paul George trade, the worst trade in NBA history. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's not the worst trade in history.
Well, I don't think it's. I think if you give them it's like, okay, if you give the Timberwolves the choice, you get to redo that trade. Do you do it or not? Do you think they do the Rudy Gobert trade or not? I think
because they're brain dead.
Well, yeah, I mean, they shouldn't. But if you fast forward 4 years ago and say to the Clippers, you can do the same exact trade again, would you do it for Kawhi Leonard or Paul George?
Oh, I don't actually know.
I think they would. I think they would because
knowing what Shea's become,
but still, Shea can't win you championships like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George could at that time. I don't think it's a bad trade. I think the clock's obviously ticking out because they just have no ability. If they get any slight niggle, they're out for the whole playoff. So,
yeah, I don't know, but it's the Clippers are cursed. I mean, if they're playing on any other team, they're probably not getting injured.
Oh yeah, if they're a fucking Memphis Grizzly, they fucking go for a three-peat. But
yeah, I mean, Clippers, from Blake Griffin to Chris Paul to Kawhi and PG, it's just
it's some fucking medical doctor that's been there for 30 years.
Ugly blue jersey that just it's a magnet.
No,
for
it's
injuries.
his fucking repentance from fucking having a racist owner. Fucking hated black people.
Owner. Yeah, and now Steve Ballmer? He's a bit of a weirdo, so maybe it's just continuing on.
But he's a good owner though.
Did you see when they had him all dressed up in like hard hats, and he was like, "We have bathrooms." It was like bragging about the new stadium. That's like 100 bathrooms or something.
Yeah, bro. Bathrooms. Bathrooms.
Oh my god.
But right, dude. Look, I think Suns win this in 5 now, probably. But it's just disappointing. Is like I throughout in the middle of the season, I had lost faith. I literally haven't watched any of the games. I watched actually the first game, but I didn't watch any of the others.
Yeah, I mean, the Suns are obviously favourites, with a lot of people picking them to come out the West because of their big three, I guess you could call it, if Chris Paul still counts. But
he doesn't count.
He's been playing all right when I've seen
him. Played well this game, but he hasn't played well previously.
Yeah, but obviously their weaknesses, they aren't deep. They don't have much impact off the bench. I don't think that's a huge issue because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker can go from 80 between them on any given night, which can pretty much win you a game by itself. So I think they're a good chance at beating Denver, to be honest.
Good chance. Yeah, they're a good chance, but I mean, who cares? Who cares about NBA anymore? Because
I'm going to have to play the winner in the conference finals. So
okay, you're getting a bit cocky. You're getting a big for your bits. Let's see the NBA score. Let's see what's it at now.
The score.
Yeah, what's the Grizzlies Lakers?
It is 30-53.
Oh, they're coming back, bro.
They're coming back?
They're coming back, dog.
Dylan Brooks on. Oh, he's up to 7 points.
What's the summary for this quarter?
Summary?
Yeah, how many points are scored in this quarter?
I don't know.
Well, how many points are scored in this quarter, bro?
Who?
The Grizzlies. How many points?
They've scored 21.
How many points did the Lakers score in this quarter?
What were we at quarter time?
Yeah.
I don't know, 20? 18?
Where you get your fucking news from, bro?
I think they've won the second quarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Grizzlies won the second quarter. They've got 23 points. You've got 18. So, yeah, the Grizzlies are coming back. So maybe don't get so big for your boots, bro.
They're coming back.
Jared Vanderbilt, what a player he is. 0 for 1. Good on him.
Yeah, he's a great defender. The Vandalorian, as they call him.
Who calls him the Vandalorian?
The Lakers commentator calls him that. The Vandalorian.
That is not.
I don't really get the comparison.
They scored again. Oh, boy. They're coming back.
It's all good.
Please, Grizzlies. I don't want you to win the series, but just win this game just to shut this guy up.
Just this one game? Nah.
But yeah, anyway, moving on to the East.
Moving East. 1v8. Turning into quite an interesting series. The Bucks versus the Heat. Obviously, Giannis goes down game 1, first half. Hasn't played since with a sore back, I think it is. And they're now down in the series 2-1.
Well, he'll be back next game. You can guarantee. He doesn't have the mentality of Kawhi. Yeah, you can guarantee, you can bet your bottom dollar that he's coming back for the next game. If he had a broken leg, he'd come back for the next game. Yeah, I just think it's a case of the Bucks being slightly unlucky with injuries. Now, I mean, you could say, look, the Clippers have been unlucky with injuries every year, and everyone just calls us the fucking, oh, what a bad trade. But we've just been unlucky. I mean, they get unlucky one year, and everyone's saying, oh, well, whoop-de-doo. They're losing to the 8 seed. But anyway, I think it's... But
the Heat, even though they had a shit regular season, they're still that one team that you wouldn't want in the first round out of, like, the bottom teams.
Yeah, I get that. But they were terrible in the regular season.
They were, but, like, Jimmy
they lost Tyler Hero as well. I think the Bucks come back and win this in 6 or 7, in my opinion. They've just got too much. I just think they've got... if Giannis comes back, they just got too much, and losing Tyler Hero for the whole playoffs would be terrible for the Heat anyway. If they manage to scrape past the Bucks, I think they lose the next round. So, yeah, I rate what the Heat are doing. I think they're doing a great job at the moment. Obviously, Spoelstra is a top 5 coach in the league, but I don't think they beat the Bucks in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Drew Holiday was great
Jimmy.
Last game.
Yeah, he was great, but Jimmy Buckets, he needs more respect on his name. He goes from a top 30 player to a top 10 player easily in the playoffs. He is just that good.
Well, that's the thing though. He's top 30 for 9 months of the year. So it's like, well,
but he's not trying. He does it on purpose.
Well, yeah, it's like Kawhi, but Kawhi tries in the playoffs, but he gets injured in the playoffs. So it's if Kawhi couldn't get injured, he'd be Jimmy Butler. So
pretty much. But yeah, I mean, Duncan Robinson came on today and hit like 4
I saw him play the other day, and I'm like, fuck, he's playing. Jeez, he was
like 4 for 4 from 3 today.
Mate, he was in the fucking. He was in Jacksonville. He was in middle of nowhere in fucking Florida. They just chucked him in the fucking Riverglades. They just didn't care about him anymore. Yeah. Max Strus was the next guy. They're paying him $94 million, and they're like, "Fuck, well, you're like the 10th man now, dude." So
Duncan Robinson's 29.
I know he was a bit older.
That's crazy. Feels like he's been in the league for 4 years.
Probably has been. But yeah, I think Duncan Robinson getting an opportunity again is good. I like that. Obviously, you feel bad for a guy who signed a $90 million contract and then fucking doesn't play anymore. Don't feel too bad though, because I'd like that $90 million as well. But yeah, it's quite interesting how the Heat has sort of managed to maneuver around Tyler Hero's injury so far. But I just don't think they have a chance. Well, they have a chance, but I just don't think
I'm going to take them just because they're my team in the East. So,
Oscar's got about 7 teams.
Bias trumps all with me. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Celtics v Hawks 2v7. Obviously, the Celtics, they should win this series. They just
Hawks won the last game.
Yeah. So the Celtics are up 2-1.
It'll be 4. They'll win at 5.
Should be a gentleman's sweep, but you never know.
I do know.
This is probably the most boring series in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
or maybe the second most.
No,
after the next one.
Yeah, but, the next one's real up there for. Actually, it's quite a good theatre. It feels like a theatre production because of all like the diving and the flopping. It's very
and
good.
All the Joel Embiid.
Very good
screams.
acting. Very good acting in that series.
Very good. But Celtics Hawks, Tatum, Brown, good. Young Murray.
Sound like a
Young
gay
Murray, bad.
Brown, Tatum, good. So yeah, Hawks, bit overrated. I think a lot of people are putting a bit of hype into them after they win the last game, but yeah, I don't think they have any chance of competing.
No, well they shouldn't. I mean, if they do, good on them. But Celtics, give Blake Griffin some minutes.
Why?
I just want to see him out there.
Just want to see him out there dunking. That was the funniest thing ever when he was a Piston. He didn't dunk for like a year. His first game in the Nets, he dunks. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Philadelphia.
They're the first team through. They've swept the Brooklyn Nets. Probably the easiest series you could get in the first round. Brooklyn.
Oh, by 100 miles.
I mean,
well, like Timberwolves is close second, but
I think they'd beat Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, mate, they'd beat them in 5, but. Timberwolves still second. But Nets, yeah.
Brooklyn, I mean,
they suck.
Yeah, they suck. Bridges.
If that was the team the whole season, they'd finish 12th.
Yeah, I mean, Bridges had a great end of the year, but he's
it's a one man. If your one man team is Mikal Bridges, you've got a problem.
Yeah, he's not going to win you a series, especially against the MVP and Joel Embiid.
And we'll talk about Joel Embiid. He's quickly become like one of the most liked, one of the most hated within this series. I mean, if you watch the compilations out there of him fucking flopping, it is so frustrating. Watching a game with him, it's incredibly frustrating because everyone knows he flops.
Well, he's learnt from the best.
Bro, you're 7 foot, 280. You're like built. And you are like flopping to Royce O'Neal. It's like, come on, bro. What you doing? Yeah. Like, we get it.
Well, he's probably learning off James Harden, obviously.
And Doc Rivers. I want I want Philadelphia to lose so bad because of Doc. Fuck that guy. He ruined 2 fucking super teams, that fucker.
Yeah. But I guess the most interesting thing out of this series was the Joel Embiid kick to the nuts that was not an ejection.
Well, that should have been an ejection.
And then the Harden fondle of the nuts that was an ejection.
Kenny on fucking inside the NBA trying to explain it away. It's like, bro, stop it. It's clearly an aim to kick him in the fucking nuts. Even Chuck, who is like
Kenny is pissing me off recently.
Chuck and Shaq are literally like the most against fucking like hard. Don't want anyone to be suspended. They were like, bro, he should have been ejected there. He was literally aiming to kick him in the nuts. Yeah, it's like, no, he could have slipped and he could have done this and that. I'm like, bro, shut up. Yeah. It was clearly an aim for the nuts.
And then Chuck was like, listen, kids, if you don't want to get ejected, just kick him in the nuts. Don't hit him in the nuts. Kick him in the nuts.
Because if he just went up and punched him in the nuts, I think he would have been ejected. But somehow it kicks better. But yeah, I think Philadelphia win this. Oh, they've already won. They've already won. They just won. Good on you, Philly. Who they
play Boston.
Boston. Hopefully Boston fucking destroy those cunts. I hate fucking Doc Rivers. But anyway, moving on to the next series.
Probably the best series in the East. Cavs Knicks.
I think Miami Bucks a little bit better.
Yeah. But I mean, this is because
in terms of quality of basketball, fucking this series has been the shittest.
Okay, not quality of basketball, but the theater of it. You know, the Knicks, everything's bigger in New York, and it's a close-ish series, so that's why it's good.
So it's not closest games, though. I mean, fucking Cavaliers have stunk up. How for the first time this season they've scored under 80 points. And any team, no team scored under 80 points this entire NBA season apart from the Cavs, who just did it. So, Darius Garland, bro, step up your fucking game, mate.
Well, he was great in game 2.
Yeah, they just blow out each other in separate games. It's ridiculous. I think...
I want to see the Knicks lose just because it's funny.
Yeah, it's funnier. I think the Cavs win. I genuinely think the Cavs win.
I think they're better. They have I don't know.
Well, they should win.
Yeah, they should win.
So, yeah, in my opinion, it's probably Cavs. I think this goes through Game 7, though.
Yeah, it easily could. I mean... what's his name? Brunson's been great. Randall's been solid.
Well, yeah, I think they're underrated, the Knicks. I think a lot of their stars are not superstars, but they got a decent amount of stars there.
Derrick Rose.
And consistent ones. I think.
Touch the floor.
Yeah. I didn't even realize he didn't play since January or something. He hasn't stepped on the court since January.
It's so sad.
I thought he was still in the rotation. I didn't realize.
Nah. Thibodeau sacked him off.
But yeah, I think New York has a chance in the series, but they don't win a series after this. So
no, I just want to see Stephen A's first take
depression. Yeah, depression. Maybe you should fucking tell Julius Randle to retire if he fucking loses as well, bro. But anyway, moving on to. Oh, is that it? That's the end of the.
That's all the series. Unless there's any other stories going about.
Well, not really. We kind of touched all bases in terms of how pitiful the Clippers are and Russell Westbrook having a rebounds and Grizzlies sucking, and we've kind of touched all bases when we discussed the teams.
Wembanyama officially declared.
Oh yeah, I discussed prior to this. If there was a Kawhi trade, which I don't think there's a possibility of that, but if there was, I'd be like Portland. They've got a top 5 pick chance, so they could get number 1 or 2. If you get Wemby or Scoot, I know it's a long shot, but I'm like, that's the only situation where I'd trade Kawhi.
So you trade Kawhi for Wembanyama
or Scoot?
Just a one-on-one swap.
Well,
you think Portland would do that?
Yes.
What?
Because they fucking love Damian Lillard. Well, maybe not Wembanyama, but Scoot. If it was a second,
maybe Scoot, not Wembanyama.
If it was a Scoot, Scoot. I think the Blazers would genuinely trade Scoot and 2 first-round picks for Kawhi.
Scoot. What a funny name.
Because they want to keep Dame.
No, but I think
Dame wants to stay, but he wants contender.
I think they want to get rid of Dame, but they just want Dame to ask to leave.
I don't think so. I think he's probably will ask to leave, but I think they would genuinely trade.
So you want
the second pick,
Scoot and PG?
Yeah, I'd do it. You can't do a full rebuild if you're the Clippers because again, you have your fucking picks hoarded by Oklahoma City till 2027. But you'd remain competitive. You'd remain in the playoffs if you had PG, or play in playoffs if you had PG. And Scoot's a really talented young and up-and-coming player, so you'd make that trade. There's other sort of trades that you could do, like Boston, maybe if they fucking flail out, you could maybe do a Jaylen Brown, Kawhi Leonard trade. There's other sort of trades like that. But yeah, it'd be an interesting one. Probably the most plausible one, which I don't want to happen, is a Warriors one.
What, for Draymond?
Yeah, because they got the contracts. They could offload Poole and Draymond, and the only positive would be like Kuminga or some shit like that, and a couple first round picks. That's probably what.
I don't think anyone's really.
That's like what's most likely to happen, though. That is in terms of Kawhi, in terms of what he would want. That's probably the most likely.
I don't think he'd want Draymond.
What do you mean,
Kawhi?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You trade Draymond and John Paul.
Oh, right. So what? So he can play with Steph and Clay.
Yeah, that's what I see as the most likely in terms of what both teams could do. Because I think it's still in Portland's. You don't know Portland's motive. You don't know if they want to have a shot with Dame or if they want to get rid of Dame. You don't know for certain either way. But the Warriors want to compete with Steph and Clay, and do one last run at it. And I think
they might still do it this year.
I doubt it. So yeah, Kawhi could be that perfect fit if he's healthy. I would hate it so much if he was healthy in the
first year he leaves.
First year he leaves, he's fucking healthy, and the whole season as well, and wins a ring. Oh god, I can just imagine it happening too. I just can imagine it.
Well, he might come to the Lakers, do a reverse Westbrook,
reversey.
Yeah, because that's where he wanted to go.
But there's no what assets you have. What are you going to trade? You can't
give him Anthony
Davis.
Yeah,
you think the Lakers would do that? I don't think there's a shot in hell.
There's a chance.
I think they're more likely to trade LeBron James than they are Anthony Davis.
For Kawhi?
Yeah. I think they would do it.
Oh, that's tough,
I think you would do it. I think you would be like...
The thing is, but he's going to get injured, Kawhi.
Yeah, but LeBron's also like 38 and he's showing decline.
He is 38, but he's still really good.
But he's showing that he's declining.
Kawhi he can't do as much as LeBron. In terms of pure scoring, I'd probably take it, but... He's not as good as. But
if the trade was made tomorrow, or after the playoffs, if the trade was made, what would your feelings be about it? Would you be happy or sad about it?
I don't know, to be honest.
You'd just be mad. You'd be like,
I'd probably want to keep LeBron.
You probably,
yeah.
But you wouldn't be too You wouldn't be too upset if they traded for Kawhi for LeBron. Imagine that. The Claw or the King. We'd have to switch names.
Yeah, it just doesn't
I'd
feel
be the King, you'd be the Claw. We'd have to switch. It wouldn't feel right.
I'm not the Claw.
You'd have to be a Kawhi Leonard fan. It'd be a bit weird. But anyway, moving on.
Premier League. Arsenal are choking, apparently.
It is sourcing up very much so. In terms of the top, Arsenal recently were down 3-1 to Southampton, bottom of the league at home, which was quite interesting.
And they came back.
And they came back and drew 3-3. But they've drawn their last 3 games, which has allowed Man City to catch up. So essentially, what's sort of the situation here is Arsenal are on 75 points. Man City's on 70 points, right? Man City have got 2 games in hand. However, they play Arsenal next. So essentially...
Whoever wins that's probably going to win.
So, yeah, if Man City win, they'll essentially be 2 points behind with 2 games in hand. With like 5... With Arsenal having 5 games to go after this. So after that. So you'd be a bit like, yeah, Man City's winning the title there. However, obviously the game in hands don't extend because they're playing each other, so it'd still be 2 games in hand. However, if it's a draw, it's a lot more likely, even if it is a draw. Let's say it's a draw. Arsenal will be on 76 after 33. Man City would be on 71 after 31. But it's still in Man City's hands because if they win the next 2 games, they're ahead. So, and it's at the Etihad, so it's at Man City's home. So Arsenal essentially have to win, in my opinion, to sort of be in this title race again. Because they've looked shocking, and they've got a tough schedule. They've got Chelsea after that, they've got Newcastle after that, then they've got Brighton after that. Chelsea's shit, but it's a London derby, so it's up in the air. Newcastle and Brighton are in a top 4 race. So it's a bit it's a bit tough for them.
It's a bit iffy here.
And I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. I can go on social media and just laugh at us. And you see, I saw Don Robbie on Sky Sports this morning. Oh, God, it was lovely. Just him trying to be
an Arsenal guy?
Yeah, he's Arsenal Fan TV. He's the main guy.
Right, okay.
And he's just trying to explain it away. And it's like, no, bro, it wasn't a choke. We came back. I'm proud of the boy. I'm like, and there's a Man City fan that was on there just laughing his tits off at him.
But he's always like overly positive.
Yeah, well, the Arsenal fans, they're just eating it all. It's just like, they had like, at Christmas, they had like Premier League tables as shirts. And it's like, enjoy Christmas, lads. And it's like, oh, God, you all fucking deserve this shit. You all deserve it. And there's been actually a debate.
Well, they've overachieved, really.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting onto. There's been a debate about the success of Arsenal season. If Man United finish third and have won the Carabao Cup, and Arsenal finish second and win nothing, who has the better season? Who's had the better season?
Probably United.
I think United have had the better season, personally.
Because there's no difference between second and third.
Yeah, like, in terms of what you remember after the season, there'll be nothing. You don't get anything more if you're Arsenal and you've won a trophy. And no, it's not the best trophy, but you still won a trophy. Are they
still in the FA Cup?
They're still FA Cup is this morning for Australians, 1:30.
So did they win?
I'm going to find a dodgy stream.
It's not on yet. It's tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so 1:30 tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be like, it's on Paramount Plus as well, so fuck it. Fuck Paramount Plus. It was on Foxtel
Dude,
before.
how many... Soccer is on how many different streaming things? Your Foxtel, Stan, Paramount.
Well, yeah, that's...
Optus.
It's annoying. Well, Premier League's on Optus. Champions League and Europa League's on Stan, which I've got both. But I don't have Paramount Plus. Sorry. Fucking... And that's... It used to be on Foxtel, which I have.
And then like Bundesliga, La Liga...
that's on Foxtel. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Remember back in the day when it was Foxtel, everything was Foxtel?
I remember Champions League was on SBS. I used to watch it on that.
Oh yeah, Champions League was on SBS, but Premier League was all on Foxtel, and it'd all be like condensed because how long their names were. And it'd be it was like Soton versus Matted or something like that, and it'd be it was. I loved that back in the day. Ronaldo was playing. For Man United. Prime Ronaldo. Oh God,
Prime Ronaldo.
God, it brings me goosebumps.
Is he better than Prime Rashford though? That's the question.
It's a tough one. Well, I mean, Prime Ronaldo made me love football. I don't think Prime Rashford did. I'm not going to lie to you. Prime Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or at Man United, and scored like 40 goals in a season. But I mean, Rashford's had a fantastic season. But yeah, in terms of the Premier League, the title race is definitely sourcing up.
How many goals?
Relegation sourcing up as well. Relegation's great. What?
How many goals does Haaland have?
Oh, he's got a shit ton.
Isn't he
I think he's equaled the Premier League record, or he might have just broken it.
He's equaled the Premier League record in his first season already.
Yeah, the most Salah had. I think he's on 32. I'm not too sure about that, but he's definitely going to break the record. Probably going to get 40 goals or something in the Premier League, which is ridiculous. But yeah, if Man City win the title, he'll probably be for Ballon d'Or shouts. I think Messi was a shoo-in because of the World Cup, obviously, but I think
he's done nothing at PSG.
Well, he's played very well, but it's PSG and Liga.
Apparently, he's doing one more year at PSG, then he's going to MLS.
He wouldn't go MLS. They don't have enough money for him.
PSG could pay him 10 times. I thought it was that was a confirmed thing.
No, it'd have to be the craziest deal ever. He'd have to literally own a team. They'd have to give him a team to own. They couldn't afford to pay him. There's no way that they could pay him. He could go to Saudi Arabia or something, but yeah, I think obviously Premier League heating up. Champions League, Man City are through.
The semis?
Yeah, they beat Bayern Munich, which Bayern Munich is shit now under Tuchel, by the way, which is hilarious. And then, so yeah, it's Man City, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, I believe.
Yeah, Madrid beat Chelsea.
Yeah, Madrid beat Chelsea, AC Milan won, Inter Milan won. So very interesting.
The Milans are back.
They're shit in Serie A, but they're back in fucking...
They were dominant 15 years ago. And then
the Milans are back. Back in the day, that's when we loved football. Back in the day, Milans were... It was Milans, it was Bayern Munich still fucking good still, but it was Bayern Munich and all those geezers. But yeah, it's a very... Football sourcing up at the moment.
Right. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
I'm sure I'll be watching.
Sure, you'll be watching the highlights. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I'll be watching some highlights.
Okay, if Man United were in... Hang on, what time's the FA Cup final? Because we've got to watch that if Man United are in it. Because we've got fucking Brighton.
FA Cup really that big of a...
It's a cup final, mate. Shut up.
It's a cup final. Yeah. Is that like what Wrexham? Everyone's going crazy.
Over Wrexham just got promoted. I'm half Wrexhamish. Wrexhamers. I don't know what it's called, but I'm half Welsh, and that Welsh is from Wrexham. So big up Welsh.
Are they Welsh? I thought they were an English team.
No, they're Welsh. Oh. They're Northern Welsh. So yeah, obviously
they got promoted to what?
League 2.
League 2.
Well, they got promoted to the EFL League, which is they get a shit.
Are they on FIFA?
Yeah. Well, they already are on FIFA, but
right
because there's but they're actually in League 2 now, so they're actually professional. So that's good. Oh, it's a fucking 12 o'clock. Yeah, we're watching it. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, me and Oscar might be live stream.
Live stream.
Well, I thought you were recorded a bunch of fucking vlogs that you were gonna post.
On what?
Remember when we went to the F1? You were like fucking videoing everything. You're like, dude, vlogs, dude.
Yeah, that's just for my memory. I didn't.
So everyone's supposed to read your memory.
I didn't film enough stuff to compile a good vlog.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe vlog the cup final if we get. Like Brian's a very good team, and we've been shit, so we'll see. Anyway, moving on.
Stop looking at
the Grizzlies.
The National Rugby League.
The National Rugby League. I thought we were talking about AFL, bro.
AFL.
Got him.
You want to talk about AFL?
Fuck, would we talk about AFL? Yeah, Oscar doesn't want to be associated with AFL slander. I am more than happy to fucking stand proud and say that I hate AFL.
I don't mind AFL, so
yeah, stop being in the fucking
you
middle ground.
Be on that,
get off the fence.
Be on
bro.
that hill if you want. Even though fucking the Swans lost by 100 to Geelong again yesterday. In the grand
I'm
final
not surprised
rematch.
after seeing how many fucking cunts love AFL in Melbourne. How many? I mean, we've talked about it before, but that situation.
Yeah, it's like NRL doesn't.
We tried to find the NRL in like 3 pubs. None of them showed it, but they had the pre-game show for the AFL game that you couldn't even hear.
Mm. Oh, they love it down there. It's their national sport.
It's not a national sport. It's
their state sport.
State sport.
Whatever.
Stupid sport to have a state sport.
Okay, let's go. Talking points out of the NRL. New South Wales. Origin.
Nico Hines putting his bid in.
Yeah, I mean the number 6 jersey.
It has to be Nico
hotly
Hines.
Contested
it has to be Nico
debate.
Hines. If it's Luai, it's just Brad Phillippe.
Well, a lot of people still think Luai.
Well,
because combinations.
Well, a lot of people think Luai because the 2 selectors are former Penrith players. So maybe that's the reason why fucking Stephen Crichton always got a shot in last year, and Luai always gets a shot in.
I think the fact that they were the best team in the comp also had something to do with it, but
yeah, but it also had something to do with the fact that 2 Penrith, 2 like great like 2 of your best players ever. So it's like a bit coincidental.
To be honest, I'm not in support of them.
Yeah,
I don't like
you.
Freddie.
Brad Phillips like your greatest ever player.
A terrible coach.
But yeah, I'm a bit certain on it. I'm a bit more certain than others are. It's obviously highly contested, but it has to be Nico Hines in my opinion. It just has to be.
Even I would think it should be Hines.
Luai,
and that is like I'm one of the most biased people I've ever met.
I think everyone who watches this podcast knows that you're the most biased fucking sports person
Even I'm
ever.
like, yeah, Luai, sit down, bro.
It's like, come on, bro. You've been bang average this year, and Nico Hines has been fucking Dally M again. He's been Dally M contender again. If he wasn't injured the first couple of weeks, he would definitely be in that conversation. Yeah, he's been fantastic, absolutely unbelievable, and I just can't believe that there would even be a contest for it. I think he's running ability. He just screams Origin to me. I could just see him running down.
Well, it was.
His combinations with Teddy. Could you imagine the fucking?
Oh god. Teddy's gonna be playing.
Nico, just come play for the Roosters.
Has Teddy even done anything this entire year?
He's been good this year. He's just been injured.
He's been mid.
He got concussed. He got concussed for 2 weeks, bro.
Okay. Well, I think he should have played last year. I was mad when they didn't pick him last year, especially game 3. But he's got to be there somewhere. I think they might go Luai 6 game 1.
They will.
And Hines on the bench.
They will do that. And we'll fucking lose because Luai has proven again and again that he cannot compete at that level because he cannot play off the back foot. He has no ability to play defensive. Well, he does because Penrith have a great defense. But he has no ability to create against a good defense. Whenever you watch the Panthers, you always see like 10-6 games. They're great at defending, but they do not create close to the line. You know whose fault that is? Your fucking shit halves. That's whose fault it is.
Halves-er?
Now,
Halves-er?
Cleary's the best half in the league.
Yeah.
However, close to the line, they give the ball to Luai a fucking shit ton, and he doesn't create jack shit. So, look, Luai can be in the squad hanging around, blasting his fucking...
He can be the boombox guy.
Yeah, he can be the boombox guy. But, I mean, that's all you're doing, bro, in my team. Yeah, it has to be Nico at 6 and Cleary at 7. But I just know Brad Fittler and fucking Yorsh.
Freddie loves him. And
Greg Alexander.
Can't wait for Freddie to just do some earthing or some bullshit stuff that just makes us lose.
David Clemmer's back in.
David Clemmer's back in.
Davey boy. You know what? The Tigers are doing well. They've got 2 points already.
Well, will Coruscant get picked? That's the thing. Because
that's another interesting one.
He's still got the Penrith links technically with Johan Cleary.
Yeah.
And he was...
I think they will, though. I think they will.
Go Coruscant?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Damien Cook's an interesting
one. That's the thing. It's so
Damien Cook's team is obviously performing a lot better, but Coruscant, I think, is a better player.
Yeah, and he's got the combinations with Latrell and Murray, but it's so unpredictable because Freddie is so shit at selecting. If there's one thing we've learned over these 5 years of him as coach, is he is horrible at selecting.
It's not the best.
Obviously, Jack Wines announced his retirement.
Good. I don't want him. I love NRL 360. How they fucking jump on his cock every single time that he played. Every time he's in Origin. Oh, he was MVP game 1. Cool, bro. We lost. Stop fucking gassing it up. He is played one probably good game of Origin, and he wasn't picked after that. That was probably the one good decision Freddie made. He didn't pick him again.
Well, he replaced it with Talakai, so...
Well, yeah, but there's obviously better selections to do with that. But, yeah, I think it's an interesting one. For me, I would pick Cookie in the 9, and then I'd probably go...
But then you can't have another one on the bench if you pick Hines, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It depends. If Freddie... It depends on what Freddie's thinking. If Freddie picks Luai, I would pick Cook. But if Freddie picks Hines, I would go with Coruscant.
What? you would pick Cook if Luai's in?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you pick Coruscant if Luai's in?
I just think that Cookie's played that many games, and I think the running ability... I'm just excluding Luai as a good player at this point. And I'm thinking who we need to be around that ruck more. Nico Hines would be fucking around that ruck making runs. We need fucking players around that ruck making runs. Now, obviously, Turbo probably will do that if he's picked. I mean, but I think that...
Well, he's in danger of not being picked?
Well, I mean, he's been a bit up and down this season. And I would pick him, but I mean, Freddie, you fucking know.
On the wing or at centre? A lot of people saying wing.
Fuck off. He's not a winger. No
but
way.
He's not a centre either.
Yeah, but he was unbelievable at centre in the last Origin.
But if we pick him at the wing, we can pick Crichton
I just
at centre.
know Freddie's just going to pick like Gutho at centre.
No, we can pick Crichton at centre.
He won't pick Crichton at centre. I swear to Jesus.
Crichton was incredible on Thursday.
I swear if he picks Crichton at centre, that will be the worst selection in history. Everyone will fucking roast it. Everybody.
Not me.
You've got Campbell Graham, Turbo. I mean, how many... Those two players are twice the player that fucking Crichton is.
What? No, he scored a hat-trick on Thursday.
No. I don't care if he's... I don't care. He's not an Origin player. He's not better than Campbell Graham or Tommy Turbo. There's no way.
Yeah, well...
I picked Momorowski over. I'm not going to lie. I picked Momorowski.
No, you wouldn't. Stop.
Over Stephen Crichton.
Stop it.
Momorowski's a better player than Stephen
Crichton.
No, he's not. He's starting this week.
Is Momorowski playing?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. The mama.
The mama, dude.
He's going to rescue your team.
Back. Anyway.
Yeah, because Manu's obviously...
6 now.
Kicked out of centres. What happened to Drew Hutchison?
He's just not playing. I think he's getting a rest. You know, he's putting in a lot of shifts. But yeah, I think obviously in terms of this week's NRL games, if you wanted to move on to that, you've got the Panthers who lost to the Rabbitohs, which was a great result. That's coming from a Roosters fan, by the way. But this guy's a Panthers fan, so it just annoys me when they win. A really good game. I don't know how you conceded 2 tries in the last 3 minutes, but you did it. Good job.
Me neither.
And yeah, it was a pretty interesting game. I thought Rabbitohs were on top for a bit. It was just back and forth. It was a great rugby league game. And yeah, they managed to come up with a great try. Did they go to Crichton's centres or
what when they scored?
Yeah, they scored.
But that was some mad flick pass and then a little offload.
A
couple forward passes in. I completely forgot about all the referees calls. Dubious refereeing, to say the least.
Well, it was payback for that fucking bullshit hair pull that Luai got that got the penalty for fucking Newcastle.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about that?
He pulled his hair.
His hair's at his fucking arse crack.
Yeah, well, he still touched it.
What do you want him to do?
Don't touch it, bro.
His hair is at his arse.
You can't hip drop people. You can't touch their hair.
Oh, the hip. Oh, don't get me started on the hip. I'll turn to Gus Gould in a minute. Don't you dare get me started on the hip drop. But that was a bullshit. You know that was a bullshit penalty. Your fucking grub of a player let his hair dangle down there so people could accidentally grab it, and then you got a penalty. That you got
don't you want that type of
right after
stuff in Origin? Those hair pull penalties.
I don't want him playing in Origin.
Yeah, but if he's there, you get penalties for it.
It will not get called in Origin. I can guarantee fucking... Mate, Dane Gagai fucking punched Matt Burns' head off and got a sin bin.
Fucking Dane. But no, okay, the Isaac Tago one, do you know what I'm talking about? Where he put like downward pressure on the ball before the line, they ruled it a knock on.
Oh, that was a knock on.
But when has downward pressure ever been a knock on? That's literally how you score a try in the in goal.
No, but it was downward pressure, not in the in goal though, mate.
But what's the difference?
The difference is it's a try. You're playing the ball down.
A knock on also exists in the in goal, so how is it not a knock on? No, because
he knocks it up, he puts the ball on the down and then picks it up. You can't do that.
The ball never comes free from his hand. It's still connected to his hands.
No, but the ball touches the ground. You can't fucking do that. You can't have the ball on the ground if it's not an ego.
How do you pick it up then? When the ball's on the ground, you have to touch it.
Well, that's how the fucking rules are.
No, that's not a knock on. I've never seen that in my life.
What a field goal. They technically drop the ball, but they're attempting a field goal, so it doesn't matter. There's different rules for try scoring and goal scoring situations
I've never seen
than there is
that.
For fucking knock-ons.
When there's no separation from the ball and your hand, that's not a knock-on.
He places the ball on the ground. When people come up, when players try and reach out for the try line and place a ball on the ground and it's short, it's always a knock-on.
No, not if they keep hold of it.
No, if they place the ball on the ground and then pick it up, it's a knock-on.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Bro, that was a knock-on. Everyone knows
that was not a knock-on. That was ridiculous.
He puts pressure on the ground. That's a knock-on.
It's not a knock-on. Never seen it in my life. I've watched a lot of rugby league football. That's not a knock-on.
Everyone thinks that's a knock-on.
No.
Your fucking legend, Freddie
Fittler. The commentators.
Yeah, Freddie Fittler thought it was a knock-on. You're legend, and he's fucking.
All the other ones, fucking Billy. All the other good ones.
Freddie, they're from Queensland, mate. They've got 3 brain cells.
Freddie has the shittest opinions on everything. He's actually pissed me off at this point. Every time he talks, I'm like, bro, you sound like an old head.
It's your fault for watching Channel 9, mate. So
I don't even watch them though. I just see his shit opinions somehow. Yeah, on clips. Even his opinion on the hip drop, he's saying everything is a hip drop. It's like,
oh yeah, the hip drop is the most oh god. The Nat Bush one fucking pissed me off, but some of the ones on the weekend were just ludicrous. With the Parramatta Broncos
every single fucking tackle is a hip drop.
Yeah, that's what fucking players try to do. They stop them from getting meters. That's why they fucking drag them back.
But like you're asking these people to just let them make line breaks.
It's like people get injured. Have you not watched another sport? People get fucking injured. That's what happens. Like, yes, there's a shit ton of injuries, but that's not just because of fucking hip drops. Hip drops are when 2 people are in a tackle and one guy... They got it right last year. Why are they fucking changing it? When 2 people are in a tackle, when 2 people are already in a tackle and the last guy comes in and fucking drops him down. When there's 2 people, when he's already up here and they come in at the hips and then torpedo him down and land on his legs. That's a hip drop. I don't care if that's a fucking penalty in a sin bin. But none of that has happened this season, and somehow everyone's getting hip drops. I think in terms of sin bins, there's like double the amount this year than there were this time last year.
Yeah.
And the amount of sin bins in the game's ridiculous. I think the Roosters have had a sin bin every game. Like either it's for us or against us. Like the last 4-5 games, there's been a sin bin.
Did you see the Spencer Leniu one against the Knights? Where the ref sin binned him, and then they captains challenged it, and it turns out he didn't even come into contact with him at all. The Knights player just full on dived, and it was mate,
that's what you're gonna get though. If you over penalise, you're gonna get a bunch of fucking floppers, and it'll be these constant and it's their trainers that take advantage of it.
You've got refs just looking at a player on the floor and going sin bin, and the guy he sin bin wasn't even in contact with him at all. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's just so many sin bins. It's so bad. It just doesn't make any sense. And there was one that I just watched where it might have been the Eels Broncos game where there was a crusher. It might have been your game actually. Yeah, it was your game when your Fijian winger guy, literally backed up into the tackle, sat down, and then the player was right there, and he just...
But that's always been a thing. You have to let his head out under your arm.
Yeah, but he literally was standing up and then saw that he was behind him, dropped down, and
but then the player fell on top of him.
No.
You have to let his head out. That's always been the thing.
No, but that was the most intentional fucking trying to get a penalty I've ever seen in my life. So,
well, that's always
you're going to have stuff like that with hip drops in a minute because of like all the dodgy shit. That if you let the game become over penalized, you'll get so many. It'll turn into football where everyone's just diving for everything. So yeah, look, you've got to do better.
Got to do better. Next thing, I guess talking to the Roosters, I guess my Sam Walker statement has come to fruition. That he is trash and you can't win a comp with him.
No, I'm not gonna fucking bag Sam Walker. He's just had a he's just had a tricky spell at the moment. He's 20 years old. People forget he's 20 years old.
Yeah, and he's trash.
He's not trash. Everyone knows he led the league in assists when he was 18.
If you're throwing 4 cut-up balls over the sideline a game, you're trash.
He's not doing that though, is he?
Pretty much.
Look, I think this is an experiment and they need to see how it works. And look, the Roosters are out of sync now. You've just got to find a way to get them back into sync. You've got the talent there. You're going to have the talent coming in next year with good old Spencer boy. And I think that you've just got to, find a way to make the half combination work because we're not doing well enough close to the line. Now, obviously, we've had a really bad spell of injuries and, missing players. And we've, throughout... In Trent Robinson's system, you use the back rowers a lot, especially in try-scoring situations. We haven't had Crichton, our 2 starting ones. So, I mean, that's a big deal.
Who have you got now?
Crichton, Tupanua.
No, but who is playing now?
What? Oh, Nat and Egan Butcher.
So the Butcher boys. Someone else.
No, it's Nat and Egan Butcher that are playing in the...
gay.
good analysis, dude. That's really good analysis. But yeah, we need those players back. They're coming back this week. We'll see how it goes. I think you just got.
They're both back this week.
Yeah, really? And Crichton are back.
Well, that is big ins.
So yeah, we'll see, and hopefully
Angus Crichton holds up.
Well, Crichton was a try-scoring machine last year. I think he could have got Origin's consideration. He could have.
Yeah, he did play Origin.
Well, yeah, I think he could have got starting Origin considerations, especially this year with fucking what's his name? Who's out? Who's not playing 12?
Liam Martin.
Yeah. Is Liam Martin injured?
He's at the moment. He's done a hammy.
Yeah, so I think that...
He might be back. Who knows?
So I think if Liam Martin's out, I think he could definitely get a shoe in if he plays with the form he played last year, but he's obviously had a timeout. So, look, Anzac Day coming up.
Big occasion. Are you working?
I am working, so...
That'll be good.
Hopefully I'll catch the second half, but yeah, good on the...
what do you even do in the first half?
Stuff, bro. I don't want people
finding out.
Where
do you sit? Do you sit in, like, the stadium?
Yeah.
Do you get to go in the dressing rooms?
No.
No.
Why would I get to go in the dressing rooms, bro?
I don't know, because you're...
Bro, don't leak the shit, dude. Don't leak it. I can't have my fans coming up. What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
That's good. We need to build a fan base.
Anyway, you got anything else to talk about?
Not really. I mean, I guess just the comp in general, where it's at, how close it is. But it's been a very interesting start to the season. I think probably the most competitive start since I can remember, really, with pretty much any team.
Because every team's getting sin bins, so you never know.
But the results are like every team can win. Mr.
Popular?
I don't know why that happened. Pretty much every team can win any game except for the Tigers. So
that's probably the statement of the year, really. I mean,
yeah.
Any team can win a game apart from the Tigers. Their fullback situation. Apparently, they're going with another kid that I've never heard of.
Yeah, another debutant. And apparently they're holding tryouts at track. Walk-up tryouts.
Open tryouts. Yeah. Maybe we could play for the Tigers. That'd be fun.
Great coaching, Tim Sheens. You don't know who your best fullback is. It's Dane Laurie, mate. I'm telling you. It's Dane Laurie.
Well, they had Dane Laurie at fullback for the past 2 years. And
he was their best player.
They came last.
But he was their best player in their team.
Well, look, the Tigers, it's just, I just love seeing, I don't like seeing them lose. I just want 12
I'm kind of bored of it at this point. It's been 15 years of it.
Yeah, they are horrendously bad.
But I'm scared because they're a danger team now because they're going to win a game at some point and we've got them in 2 weeks.
You're just like,
which is like, fuck, don't be that one game they play well all year.
Well, to be fair, it's a decent good luck omen. I mean, the Eels lost them first time they played them last year and they got to the final. So maybe it's a good luck omen. Maybe it's a guaranteed finals if you...
But we already have a guaranteed final.
I think you do.
Pretty much.
Not a grand final.
I'd say.
So, yeah, I think it's an interesting season. I think, obviously, there's a couple of surprise packages in there. I think people expected the Broncos to be definitely top 8, but I don't think they expect them to be 1. They've had a very easy schedule, if you look at it.
They've just got very good attacking players. They're honestly going to end up like Manly, I reckon, the flat track bully sort of category.
With Turbo, yeah.
Yeah, like Reece Walsh is fucking hot, but he's kind of shit as well at the same time.
In what way?
Or like appearance and footy playing.
Okay, so both ways. Okay.
Both ways.
Okay.
No, I don't swing that way.
Good central secret. Dude, you know you grime. But yeah, I think the Broncos are good. I think Reece Walsh is a shoo-in for fullback, by the way, for Queensland. If they pick fucking Kalen Ponga.
They're going to pick Ponga, if he's fit.
What?
Well, he was the best player in the series last year.
If they pick Ponga, Billy Slater needs to be drug tested. Why the fuck would you pick Kalen Ponga?
Because he was the best player last year.
Yeah, mate, within the first 5 minutes,
Queensland
he'll get knocked
show
out.
loyalty. Queensland will pick you until you're shit.
He is shit. He's been terrible this year.
Shit for them.
Okay. Mate, no wonder Nate Miles played.
Maybe that's why he's
shit.
shit. He's playing 6.
But yeah.
But he hasn't even played, to be fair. He gets knocked out.
You can't not play Reece Walsh. He's the best fullback in the competition. He won't be fullback.
I promise you he won't be.
He's like literally the best fullback. No, you can't. But there's limits to it. You've got to...
not.
For some... No. There's limits to it.
There's not.
Yeah, there is.
I promise you, Ponga will be fullback. Walsh will probably be 18th or 19th or something.
So they're going to pick the same team as last year?
I mean... Who else would they drop? I mean, Sam Walker. He can replace Jerry Evans.
I don't think he
would.
I don't think he would.
So who they have no one to bring in really. They probably changed the forward pack a little bit based on form, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think it's a. So, yeah, I think you've got to pick Reece Walsh. I don't think there's a conversation about it. Maybe you pick.
They won't though.
But they'll pick like Gagai and shit. But like
Gagai,
he's having a good season though. But yeah, there's no way you can't pick Reece Walsh. I think if you did a poll on who you should pick, it'd be Reece Walsh. Like, there's limits to it.
I think you're kind of a little off. I feel like a lot of people still would pick Ponga.
No.
Just because of how good he was. And because...
well, it's not only the fact that he's been in bad form this year. It's the fact that he is a genuine, like, knockout liability. Like, in Origin...
But you can't pick a team based on that.
You can. You absolutely can.
And at fullback, you can't get knocked out.
And he might not be ready. He might not be ready for that sort of atmosphere because of how fucking dodgy he got knocked out. How many times he's been knocked out so far. So, yeah, I don't even think Kalen Ponga would want to do it. Because he's on the verge of losing his career if he gets knocked out. Are they back in the game?
They're down 13.
Oh, God, please, Grizzlies, please. But yeah, anyway, I don't think he would want to do it. I mean, you're on the verge of losing your career. Origin... Everyone gets knocked out, especially last year. Everyone got fucking knocked out. You don't want to get knocked out again. You could be out.
You don't, but you gotta play Origin.
Well, Latrell Mitchell didn't. So, and that was
that was a hamstring injury.
Hamstrings are a lot easier to come back from than fucking 5 head knocks.
Yeah, but a head knock isn't like a physical injury.
Yeah, but
You're
it's
not
mental.
limited.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mentally, I don't think he'd be ready for it.
Well, he's got like 4 or 5 weeks.
yeah, you just 4 or 5 weeks, bro. Deny it, bro. Just
should be right.
And he's not even playing fullback this year. So he's not played fullback this entire year.
Well, he came off the bench yesterday.
Which is
interesting.
I just don't think you can play him at fullback. I just think it's got to be Reece Walsh. Anyway, anything else to discuss?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Unless you got anything else.
Not really. Well, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Have a lovely, lovely day. Podcast is out on Spotify as well. Follow us on wherever you want to follow us.
Subscribe on YouTube, mostly.
Subscribe.
If we get to 1,000 subscribers.
If we get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the day.
If we get to 1 million subscribers within 58 hours of this episode being uploaded, I will...
Would you like put all your life savings on red?
I will put all my life savings on red.
Yes, get in there. All right, you heard it here,
Which is about $20,000.
Yep. So he could be broke, but he'll have a good YouTube channel, so it doesn't matter. And
I could also have an extra $20,000.
Yeah. 50-50. Anyway, hope you enjoyed and see you later. Adios.
Peace out.